So today I thought I would walk through a pretty cool, fun little exercise for dealing with, I would say, a minor upset. Not, typically you don't want to practice with something that's like you're hugely upset, but maybe it's something that when you think about it, it's still a little icky, but I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe a 2, 3, 4, 5. No. I often say that usually when I ask people to pick something, it's like a two or 3 or 4, they pick a 15. So I encourage you to start with something small. And before we sort of dig into it, I would just take a moment and center yourself a little bit. And then now bring that situation to mind and let yourself be there for a moment. And just notice it however you're noticing it. And notice how it shows up in your body. Where do you feel it? Notice, does it shift your posture when you think about that? Notice what you're picturing. Notice anything that you're saying to yourself. And now pause for a second and shake that off. So this is breaking state. So for a moment, just break state, come back to being centered. And then again, just to notice it again, go back into that experience. Again, notice it in your body. Where is it in your body? Notice however you're breathing. Notice anything that you're picturing. Anything that you might be hearing or saying to yourself. Okay, and now we're going to do it a different way. So I'm going to give you a couple prompts, and while I adjust these prompts, I'd like you to keep thinking about this situation. So the first prompt is take your eyes and move them up, move them above the horizon. And so as you're thinking about this thing, keep your eyes up. And I don't care if they're in the middle, or if they're in the right or the left, or if they move around. Just make sure that your eyes are up while you're thinking about this thing. And then while your eyes are up and you're thinking about this situation, also take a moment and kind of shift your balance forward and back until you find a nice center again. And so you're really just seeking to find center. And you're also, in doing this, usually you're noticing that you're upright. In fact, you may want to also bring your shoulders back just slightly. And again, still thinking about the situation, but your eyes are up. You find your center, you're not forward, you're not back, your shoulders are back, you're not slouched, so you're upright. And again, as your eyes are up and you're centered and your shoulders are back, take a moment and notice your breathing. And let your breathing be full. And also let it be smooth. And if it's quick, allow it to slow down a bit. So your eyes are up, shoulders are back, you're centered. You're breathing deeply, smoothly. And you're still thinking about the same situation. And then the one thing I want to add to all of that is you can do this on the outside or you can do it inside, but as you're thinking about it, I'd like you to add an inner hum. So it can be on the inside or you can physically hum, maybe on the exhale. So eyes are still up. Shoulders are a little bit back. You find your center. Your breathing is deep. And then just for the icing on the cake, Take one of your hands and place it on your lower belly. So just below your navel, right at your center. Eyes up. Centered. Shoulders back. Breathing deeply. Your hand on your belly. And now you can stop all that and let it go. And just notice as you think about that situation, is it the same? Is it different? Most likely, at a minimum, while you were following those prompts, it was a little different. And it may even be different now, even though you're not holding those same prompts. And this is just a wonderful illustration that we have a certain constellation that we go into with any feeling state. And if we change the menu just slightly, by moving our eyes up, by straightening and, centering our posture, by breathing deeply, we can't help but shift our experience of that situation to a degree. It's like we're interrupting our recipe for getting into that state. So I would encourage you to practice that. You can take the same memory and do that, do this exercise a couple times. And whenever something comes up that's sort of troubling, I would, even if you just start with the eyes looking up, I think you'll find that it can have a very, very powerful effect on your feeling state in that moment. So we'll explore more ways of doing this, but I love that this is just a very elegant way of shifting a state. And we didn't talk about the problem. We didn't discuss any content or anything. We just explored setting up our neurology in a slightly different way, and that alone can have just a huge, huge impact. So I hope you enjoyed that, and see you next time.